But maybe you just share a little bit about your journey, if you would, first. It's quite a journey, and what your view is of entrepreneurship.
Oh, entrepreneurship is absolutely the only way to empower yourself. We live in the greatest country on the planet, and entrepreneurship is how to empower yourself. It's the ones who will challenge the naysayers and test themselves, create jobs and mentorship and opportunities. I was born and raised in Queens, New York, but I didn't know about entrepreneurship. I didn't have any money, but what did I do? I knew that 65% of athletes and lotto winners are bankrupt 3 years after leaving the league or winning the lotto. So that means they had money. They didn't know how to use the tool of money. I knew that 65% of Forbes' top wealthiest people in the world, 65% of them are self-made men and women. That means they didn't have any money. I knew that the Fords and the Carnegies and the Mellons who created this great country, even though their foundations, all this stuff, do really great stuff, and I know some of their kids, but why don't they own the Teslas and the Facebooks and the Instagrams? Why? Because the first generation makes it, the second enjoys it, and the third destroys it.
Yep.
And that means there's room for you. And there was room for me. So I took 10 shirts, literally 10, only 10 I had. And for 2 years, I went to every video set I could. I knew kind of the rappers and their cousins. I went to 40 video sets. I got kicked off of 22. But the 18 video sets I got on, I take a t-shirt, put on a rapper, they shoot the video, I take it back, go to another video set. I did that for 2 years. Awesome. And I'm going to do the story is really quick. And then I ended up working at Red Lobster at the same time as mortgaging my mother's home. And we hired a bunch of seamstresses, we bought a bunch of sewing machines, a bunch of fabric, and we slept in the sleeping bags next to the sewing machines. A factory was up and running in the middle of my house in Hollis, Queens. And by 1997, this is 1989 to 1997, I did that. By 1997, I was just about homeless and broke. I had nothing, zero. But all of that compounded and all that time and energy and interest. And by 1998, I had $20 million liquid in the bank. Thank you. Only problem with that is I blew it. I didn't have any financial intelligence. I decided that I'm going to start coming to things like this. I'm going to stay home and watch Jim Cramer 2 times a day and understand about publicly traded companies and real estate and compounding interest. If you don't know about interest, you're going to pay it. If you know about it, you're going to earn it. And I started to understand these things and keep educating myself. And it's something that you never stop educating yourself on. That's why I'm a big fan of being here with Tony and Jay. You know how much they have taught me about everything about motivation and advertising, marketing, and finance. I learned from them. I know the stories that Tony will tell of the man who was born in a certain age and era and how much he left his family. It is something you have to constantly teach yourself about. In 2024 or 23, I think the COVID thing, and I'm going to shut up after this, the COVID rule or the COVID opportunity was that if you were going for a business dinner, you can write off 100% of that dinner or that meal, right? That's what financial intelligence is. But if you went to a hotel and you took the key from the hotel room and you went and paid for your lunch or dinner, that was under the hotel. That had nothing to do with the restaurant. You had to simply take out your credit card and pay separately. I know people that have lost $400,000 that year.
Are you a CEO that knows that you've done everything to master your craft? Now you need to take your personal brand to the next level? Well, I love working one-on-one with game-changing CEOs. And if you're interested, reach out. Go to workwithashark.com and fill out the form. Now, back to the video.
There's only 3 ways to deal with customers, right? Acquire a new one, upsell a current one, or make one buy more frequently. But in this case, you have all of the data and information, the proof of concept to go to a fund or various other people who are, and especially when you pitch like private equity or even funds, understand what their model is. Some are, they don't even want to write a check for 10 million because they have a fund of 500 million and they want to write 10 checks of $50 million. Right. They want to be in and out of their money in 3 years, 5 years, or 10 years. They want med tech, restaurants, whatever the case is. So you go for those men and women there. Or are there other, we know that right now commercial space is dying. Nobody's going out to malls and various other things. Are there commercial builders who want to be part of your business that says, listen, I got 50 buildings going up around the country or various other places. Absolutely, I need an attraction. You're going to be the first piece in there. And, you know, we're going to do this in some way where they waive a lot of these things and they build you out because they need that to come in. So I'm agreeing with exactly what Tony said. Jay, I'm sure, is going to come up and say something even more brilliant. So thank you for being here. Thank you,
Well,
and thank you for having me, Tony.
From start to it's awesome.
Yeah.
Just to the side, tell them about the book for kids that you wrote. It's really cool.
I have one book. It's called Little Daymond Learns to Earn. Now, Mark Cuban has decided to take on the pharma, the big pharma, because he wants to change the way the drugs are handled in this country. If a pill is 100, he wants to give it to you for 8. Tony, he has the stupidest name possible for this company. It's called Cost Plus Drugs. Doesn't that sound crazy? It costs, but for us, it's at cost plus. So first of all, it's a stupid name. I have something that's much easier. I'm trying to break the lack of financial intelligence in this country, and I do not think it is, I don't think there's some kind of scam. I think our teachers are antiquated, and they're not taught many things that they may teach you everything about science and history. And our teachers are, by the way, our #1 most underappreciated commodity in this country, clearly, and then veterans, or both. But so I came out of a book, Little Daymond Learns to Earn, and it became a New York Times bestseller, and it showed how to earn money for children. Why did I do that? Because I want more notable people, celebrities, educators to compete with me and put out more and more and more and more books. Put it out, because here's the problem with this country. You know, we're going off of an old school system that was built 80 years ago where it taught us how to build ships, like shop and do various other things, to be a great employee, not an employer. But I don't know if anybody here is going to need to build a birdhouse. I'm not going to, but I'm going to need to balance a checkbook. And if you don't have financial intelligence at an early age, at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and learn how money operates, well, this data is that today, 50% of the kids graduating college today will retire with a job title that doesn't exist today. That's like somebody telling you 20 years ago you're going to be a professional gamer or a drone operator or AI expert. So now all of a sudden at 16, 17, you have no financial intelligence, but then predatory banks and various other things can probably market you something for $700,000 worth of student debt for a career you're not sure you want to have. And when you're paying that off into your 50s, well, then you start to eat the cheapest things made in this country, and the cheapest thing made in this country made out of butter, salt, and sugar. And so it's a challenge and a process that we have to fight. And I believe you need to learn this at 6, 7, 8, 9 years old. You don't teach your kid how to play sports at 20 and put them on the field with somebody like Tony chasing them down with a football. You don't teach your child how to play a violin at 20 and put him or her in the orchestra. You teach them at 6, 7, 8, 9. And I just want every one of you to be selfish, because the reality is your children will take care of you 2 times longer than you took care of them. So if you don't want to be sitting outside a Pathmark with a dirty diaper, you better teach them some financial intelligence while you're at it.
That's great.
If you're a CEO like I was, where I mastered my craft, but I know that I needed to master my personal brand, well then, you've come to the right guy. I love working with CEOs that are already game changers and just need to take it to the next level, but nobody out there has experienced what they have experienced, and nobody out there can take them to where they want to go. Well, I can. And if you want to find out more about it, reach out. Go to workwithashark.com. And thanks for watching. And make sure you subscribe. Peace.